the place of innovation. Um, and it leads me to my next question in terms of what's happening in Nigeria with encouraging technological innovation. What are the trends that we see? I know in a lot of developed countries, you have the incubators, accelerators, just ensuring that they constantly disrupt, and there are new trends. There's something new on the table. So how would you assess that in Nigeria? What trends do we currently see?
Good progress. Our startups, the ecosystem is growing, supported by very strong and active venture capital industry, angel investors. It's not just about the startups, it's also about the incumbent industries who are also responding to the competition challenge being provided by the external disruptors. So, for example, it's very interesting to see some of our banks spinning out their own fintech companies in what they call old core structure. So they recognize that if we do some of these experiments within the bank, the nature of the bank will stifle those innovations. So they are spinning out their own fintech companies and letting them have the autonomy to run and compete. So it's a lot of progress being made. The thing to make sure we address maybe also related to what I've mentioned earlier. For example, if we must grow the potential for us to double the size of payment, if we fix the coordination issue between payment and identity through a digital infrastructure, is huge. If we can find the extra 30 million people that are locked out there that have identity and do not have payments through a coordinated digital infrastructure system, what it means is that we have an additional 30 million people who we can send payments to and can send payments to us. The exponential growth that will create will be strong. So the point I'm making here is that in markets like India and Brazil, where you have a digital infrastructure, the fintechs, the innovators do not need to work too hard to do things like credit, to do things like payments. All they need to do is to connect by API to the national infrastructure system and innovate on top of it. What we have in Africa and in places like Nigeria is that a lot of our innovators have to build their own infrastructure in the absence of coordination on some of these data infrastructure, which makes the hurdle to success very, very much higher than you find in other markets. So people say it's also an opportunity, but it's something we have to tackle. In my view, if we don't tackle the DPI problem, we will only be getting incremental 5, 6, 7, 8% growth in financial inclusion every year. But if we have tackled the DPI, the National Digital Infrastructure problem, we will be able to get like Brazil did. Brazil grew by implementing a DPI system. They virtually doubled access to financial inclusion in 2 or 3 years. So that is the kind of thing that is possible. So the private sector will thrive much better in partnership with the public sector that is playing its role in terms of providing a digital public infrastructure that is working, that is coordinated as a public good.